Dan Rader,
Got it.
San Mateo, California. This is a question for Mr. Munger. In your most recent letter to shareholders in Wesco's annual report, you calculated the intrinsic value of Wesco at about $100 per share and compared that to the then current market price of Wesco of about $130 per share. In the same letter, you stated that it was unclear whether at then current market prices Berkshire or Wesco presented a better value to prospective purchasers. In light of that, would you compare the intrinsic value of Berkshire to its current market price?
Well, the answer to that is no. Berkshire has never calculated intrinsic value per share and reported it to the shareholders, and Wesco never did before this year. We changed our mind at Wesco because we really thought some of the buyers had gone a little crazy, and a lot of things were being said to prospective shareholders that, in our opinion, were unwise. And we don't really like attracting, even though we've had nothing to do with it, we don't like attracting people in at high prices that may not be wise. So we departed from our long precedent, and we did, in the Wesco report, make an estimate of intrinsic value per share. But we're not changing the general policy. That was just a one-time quirk.
Well, and also I think it's true that the Wesco intrinsic value per share can be estimated by anyone within fairly close limits. It just isn't that complicated because there aren't a number of businesses there that have values different than carrying values, or where they are, they're all footnoted in terms of numbers. So it'd be almost impossible to come up with numbers that are significantly different than the number Charlie put in there. Berkshire has assets that, number one of which would be the insurance business, that it's clear have very significant excess values, but one person might estimate those at maybe 3 times what somebody else would estimate them at. That's less true of our other businesses, but it's still true in a way, so that Berkshire's range would be somewhat greater. And as Charlie, we don't want to disappoint people. We also don't want to disappoint ourselves. But we have our own yardsticks for what we think is doable. We try to convey that as well as we can to the people who are partners in the business. And I think that we saw some things being published about Wesco that simply might have led to, probably did lead to some expectations that simply weren't consonant with our own personal expectations, and that leaves us uncomfortable.